Igniting curiosity across depots, command centers, and beyond. Welcome to your weekly Depot AI Brief, where emerging AI meets mission-ready insights.
Welcome to episode 7. Pentagon goes all in on GenAI. We have a really stacked briefing today, and it's one that I think fundamentally changes how the DoD looks at software. I mean, we are not just talking about small pilot programs anymore.
No, this is enterprise scale.
Exactly. The Pentagon has officially added ChatGPT to GenAI.mil, and 5 out of the 6 military branches have signed on to use it as their primary platform. That is a massive shift. Today we're breaking down exactly how these AI updates impact our 4 core roles, from the shop floor to the executive suite. And we'll wrap up with key highlights and insights on the commercial tools flashing on our industry radar.
Yeah, happy to be here. And you're absolutely right about that gravity shift. For a long time, we've been in this kind of experimental phase. AI was something you did in a lab.
Right, it was over there. Exactly. Now it's hitting the OIB, the Organic Industrial Base. So the mission today is to connect those big Pentagon press releases to the person trying to fix a transmission or the logistician who's just trying to find a missing part.
Okay, let's get right into it then. Our first segment, the artisan. This is for the mechanics, the technicians, the people out there with grease on their hands. And we're seeing a really interesting, almost a conflict when it comes to smart glasses.
Conflict is the right word. Yeah, we're seeing a definite split in policy between the services.
Right, because on one hand, you have the Air Force. They just put out a ban on Meta AI smart glasses while in uniform. They're citing OPSEC, operational security, cameras, microphones, all beaming data to a commercial server.
Makes sense.
But then you look at the Army, and they're doing the exact opposite. They're running experiments where soldiers use those same glasses to repair Humvees. How do we square that circle?
Well, it really all comes down to the environment, The Air Force is looking at the risk of passive recording in secure areas. The Army, in this specific test, is looking at the capability.
Okay.
I mean, think about the physical act of maintenance. You're deep inside an engine bay, your hands are filthy, and you hit a problem. What do you do right now?
You stop. You wipe your hands, walk over to a tough book or a paper manual.
You lose your rhythm. It completely breaks the workflow. This Army experiment is validating what we call hands-free diagnostics. The glasses can literally highlight the next bolt you need to turn.
So, for the artisan listening right now, they probably can't wear those glasses in the depot today because of those security rules.
Not yet, no. But the concept is what's important. The idea of AI-guided repair is here to stay.
So if they can't use the glasses, what's the authorized alternative? What can they do today?
The bridge, right now, is GenAI.mil. You can use a portable tablet, a toughbook, and access those same models. You can just ask it, generate a troubleshooting guide for a rough idle on this engine, and boom, you get the steps. It's not an overlay on your face yet, but it's instant data right there at the machine.
Speaking of staying near the machine, the Navy is really pushing this idea. I was reading about the CNO's All-Ahead Flank initiative, and he told this story about a pump seal that I thought was perfect.
Ah, the mechanical seal replacement. I know that one.
Yeah. He described a sailor who knows exactly how to do the repair, the physical work, maybe 2 hours. But all the admin work around it, finding the work package, updating parameters, sign-offs, that takes 3 times as long.
That's what we call the admin tax on maintenance.
Right.
It's brutal. The CNO's vision is to use AI to just eliminate that tax. Instead of typing a report, the sailor just dumps the raw data into an AI, and the system generates the perfect, compliant work package for them.
So the artisan gets to be an artisan again, not a data entry clerk.
That's the goal.
And this extends to physical tools too, right?
Yeah.
We saw that great example from the Marine Corps. The 3D printed drone, the HAX,
$700 drone, yeah.
which is just insanely cheap for military hardware. But the real story wasn't just the drone, it was how they made it.
Rapid prototyping. And this is so applicable to the depot. I mean, how many times does a whole repair line stop because they're waiting on some little plastic fitting or a custom jig that's on back order for months?
All the time.
The Marines are proving you can use AI to help design that part and then print it locally. You're not waiting 6 months, you're waiting 6 hours.
Okay, we have to pause here, though, and drop a huge warning flag. We've talked about what you can do. We need to be very clear about what you absolutely cannot do. The Naval Explosive Ordnance Disposal Technology Division EO Texan put out a massive warning this week.
And this is a safety of life issue. This is serious. They warned specifically against uploading AEO-DPS data, that's the Automated Explosive Ordnance Disposal Publication System, into any AI models.
Why is that? Is it just about secrecy?
It's more than that. It's a hallucination risk. and a security risk. I
Mhm.
mean, imagine you ask an AI how to defuse a specific bomb, and it gets one step wrong because it hallucinated. People die.
That is a terrifying thought.
It is. So the rule has to be data sanitation. You never, ever put weapon schematics or fusing sequences into a public large language model,
Mhm.
even on an authorized system like GenAI.mil, unless that data is specifically curated and approved. You just don't use it for high-stakes, life-or-death procedures. You stick to the signed technical manual, period.
Crystal clear. Okay, let's move from the hangar into the office. Segment 2, the analyst. This is for our logisticians, supply chain planners, the finance folks. And really, they got the biggest headline this week.
They really did. The Pentagon adding OpenAI's ChatGPT to GenAI.mil, that's the game changer. It's now sitting right alongside Gemini, and like you said, 5 of the 6 branches are making this their standard.
So for an analyst, that basically just removes the barrier to entry.
Right.
It does. It's operating at IL5 impact level 5.
Mm.
And for anyone who doesn't know, that just means it's authorized to handle controlled unclassified information, or CUI. It's the safe sandbox you've been waiting for.
Let's apply this to a real headache then. The Marine Corps is running a pilot to fix unmatched transactions. I think anyone who's ever worked in DoD finance just got a cold shiver.
Oh, yeah. It's the classic needle in a stack of needles problem. You have a contract database here, a payment database there. They don't match up. And so a person has to literally sit there with 2 monitors, going line by line, trying to find a 10-cent discrepancy.
It burns thousands and thousands of man-hours.
It does. But this is where the AI comes in. This is the Excel killer use case we've been talking about.
Okay, the Excel killer. Break that down.
Instead of doing it manually, an analyst can now go into Ask Sage or GenAI.mil and just say, in plain English, write me a Python script to compare these 2 giant spreadsheets and tell me every single row where the price column doesn't match.
And they don't even need to know how to code in Python to do that.
Not anymore. That's the magic of it. You don't have to be a coder. You just need to be a logic architect. You
Cool.
tell the AI what you want to achieve, it writes the code, and you run it. What took a week now takes 10 minutes.
That's incredible. There's another efficiency gain here, too, with language.
Mhm.
The CDAO, the Chief Digital and AI Office, awarded a contract to a company called LILT for translation.
This is huge for foreign military sales, or FMS. I mean, if we sell a helicopter to an allied nation, we have to give them all the technical manuals in their language. That process, historically, takes about a year.
Whole year.
A year. LILT is using AI to get it done in a matter of weeks. So if you're an analyst who supports our international partners, the days of waiting 12 months for a translated document are just over.
Okay, let's move up the chain of command. Segment 3.
Hmm.
The supervisor,
Right.
shop foreman, team leads. And we have a story here that I think is a bit of a cautionary tale.
The story of Vector.
Right. So Vector was a tool built by a soldier on Army Vantage. It helps with performance evals, promotion boards, stuff that soldiers really care about. It's super popular.
Sure.
And then the Army suspended it.
Yep. Pulled for a compliance review.
I have to say, it feels like we're punishing initiative here. You have a soldier who actually solves a problem for his peers, and the official response is to shut it down.
I get that. I really do. It feels like the frozen middle crushing innovation from below.
Exactly.
But we have to look at it from the sustainment side. We call this shadow IT. If a soldier builds an amazing tool, that's great. But what happens when that soldier gets a new assignment or leaves the Army? Who patches the code? Who secures the data?
The tool dies. Or worse, it breaks and creates a vulnerability.
Exactly. So the lesson for supervisors isn't don't innovate, it's innovate sustainably.
Yeah.
If you have a brilliant person on your team who wants to build a new tool, that's fantastic. Encourage them. But guide them to build it inside the official channels on GenAI.mil or using Vantage modules right from the start.
So don't build a pirate ship, build a new deck on the official aircraft carrier.
That's a great way to put it. It's about making sure the innovation lasts.
And speaking of those brilliant innovators, the Marine Corps is actively searching for troops with AI and robotic skills for a fellowship. And they don't care about rank.
This should be a huge light bulb moment for every depot supervisor listening. You need to do a talent audit of your own team. You might have a private first class or a GS7 who is an absolute wizard at coding on the weekends.
But their job title says tire and rubber repair specialist.
Ignore the job title. Look at the capability. Find those people. That person might be the one who automates your entire shift roster. Don't let rank blind you to the talent that is sitting right there in your break room.
And we hear all the time that supervisors are drowning in red tape. The Navy CNO talked about offloading repetitive tasks. How does a shop foreman do that today?
Use Copilot. It's that simple. I see supervisors spend hours formatting rosters or writing up the weekly safety report.
The dreaded Friday safety brief email.
Right. Stop typing that from scratch. Open Copilot and say, draft a safety report based on these 3 bullet points about heat exhaustion. It will do 90% of the work in 30 seconds. Your job as a supervisor is to be on the floor leading people, not staring at a blinking cursor.
All right, let's go to the top floor. Segment 4, the executive, commanders, directors. We're seeing some...
You can still run your logistics models. You can still fight the base. It's a fortress for your data. For an executive, this means you have to start planning for a future where high-performance computing isn't some far-off thing you connect to. It's practically your next-door neighbor.
There's also this idea of agentic AI. A new partnership between OpenAI and Leidos is focused on supply chains.
Yeah, and this is the big shift from passive AI to active AI.
What does that mean in plain English?
Well, the AI we have now is mostly passive. You ask it a question, it gives you an answer. Agentic AI can actually act on your behalf. So in the supply chain, it's not just a system that tells you a part is late.
It does something about it.
It tries to.
Yeah.
It's actively scanning news, weather, market data to predict the delay before it even happens. It moves us from reactive to predictive. It moves us from a fragile just-in-time logistics model to a much more resilient just-in-case model. The AI will pop up and say, there's a strike at a raw material plant in Chile. You need to order copper wire now before the price spikes.
So executives need to be ready for systems that give recommendations, not just reports.
Exactly. It's a huge paradigm shift.
Okay, massive shift indeed. Let's switch gears. We've covered the official DoD landscape. Now let's look at what's happening outside. It's time for the industry radar.
And look, before we dive in, we have to give the usual disclaimer here.
What?
What we're about to talk about, this is for your home lab, for industry awareness. This is not for CUI or depot networks unless it has been explicitly authorized, period.
Copy that. First blip on the radar. Storage shock. Western Digital is saying they are effectively sold out of hard drives and solid-state drives. Prices are up 46%.
This is the physical bill for the AI boom coming due. These data centers are just eating storage. For the depot, this is a very practical budget alert. If you had a project to upgrade your local server room, whatever quote you got 6 months ago is worthless now.
It's going to cost more and take longer.
A lot more and a lot longer. You need to reevaluate procurement now.
Next up, a headline from Spotify that was interesting. Their developers are not writing code anymore. Is that for real?
It's a bit of hyperbole, but the core concept is solid. They are moving from writing code to supervising AI.
Okay, make that make sense for a military audience.
Think of it like the difference between being a rifleman and being a squad leader. A rifleman is on the trigger, engaging targets one by one. That's the old way of coding, typing every single line. A squad leader directs the fire. They tell the team where to shoot.
So the developer's the squad leader and the AI is the rifleman.
That's it, exactly. The human developer sets the strategy and the logic, and the AI does the grunt work of writing the syntax. It means for our future workforce, we don't just need people who know Python, we need people who understand systems. It's a higher level skill.
Very interesting. Microsoft's AI CEO took that even further, predicting most white-collar work will be automated in 18 months.
That is a very bold claim. I think that timeline is probably a little aggressive. But the underlying signal is clear. Routine, digital paperwork is on the way out. We have to focus our people on the things AI is still terrible at. Complex human judgment, physical interaction, and leadership.
Last one, a quick hit on vendor risk. The DoD is considering designating Anthropic as a supply chain risk.
This is just a good reminder that the commercial landscape is really volatile. Anthropic is a huge player, but things like foreign investment or data handling can get a company flagged. The takeaway is just check the approved vendor list before you start buying commercial licenses. Even for your own lab, it changes constantly.
Okay, let's bring this all home. We have covered a ton of ground today. If there's one key takeaway for our listeners, what is it?
The tools are here. The Pentagon has done its part. GenAI.mil is open for business. The barrier is no longer access, it's adoption. But, and this is a really big but, we have to be smart about it, use these tools to kill the administrative burden, use them to write scripts, but keep the life or death decisions and the weapon-specific data firmly in human hands.
The capability is there. Now the smart execution is up to you. Thanks for joining us. Whether you're turning wrenches in the hangars or crunching numbers for the command team, you are the engine that keeps Army aviation ready. Stay safe, stay innovative, and we'll see you on the next Depot AI Brief.